What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel, and we are once again taking a look at some Dark Knight action figures, but this time we are taking a look at some from Soap Studios. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. I upload new videos constantly throughout the week, so make sure you hit that bell icon so you stay notified when I do upload a new video. And if you do enjoy this video or any of my other ones, please remember to give them a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, guys. It is a very small goal of mine to try to reach at least one new subscriber per new video that I put out, so please be my one new subscriber for this video. Thank you so much in advance. As always, the information on this channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. I'm your host, Jess the Bat Magical, aka the Buff Collector, and before we get into this, guys, I just wanted to say I am actually using a new mic as of this video, so let me know what you think of the audio quality on this. Is it better than what it used to be? Is it the same? What do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you not care? Do you just care that you can actually hear me clearly? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. With that being said, let's jump right on into this review. So when I was purchasing this, I had actually been looking at purchasing also the Beast Kingdom at the same time. I had been looking at reviews for both of them without realizing it. I had been thinking I had been watching a review on the Soap Studios when in fact it was the Beast Kingdom, and so that was an interesting turn of events. But it turned out that I did in fact get to see reviews of both, and I did really enjoy both figures. And the one thing I did notice about the Beast Kingdom Batman is their reviews on YouTube aren't really reviews. They're kind of just like unboxing and showing you what they have, what it comes with and whatnot. There's no speaking or anything. So I think I'm actually one of the only toy reviewers to have a Beast Kingdom Dark Knight DAH023, I believe, review up that actually goes into full detail. So if you're looking at whether or not to purchase that item and you want to know whether or not you should spend all that money, go ahead and check out my review. I'll link that up above here, and you can find out for yourself whether or not you should go ahead and purchase that figure. But with that being said, I did purchase this figure and one other together through Sideshow Collectibles. They were offering free shipping plus a percentage off since I signed up for their newsletter, and I just couldn't pass up the deal, so I went ahead and purchased both figures at the same time. So I think they came out about I believe this one was about 110, because this is actually the special edition of the Christian Bale Batman, and the special edition coming with a few extra cool things that I will point out. Oh, there he goes. One thing about this figure is, yeah, his ankles are very touchy, so like you can get him to stand, but as you saw, like I haven't touched it, I haven't done anything besides maybe speak in its direction, and he tipped over. So that's one of the few flaws with this figure that I can definitely point out to you guys. But with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the accessories this guy comes with. Well, not some of, but all the accessories this guy comes with. And like I said, he is the special edition version, so he does come with a lot of accessories. So first and foremost, he does come with an extra head sculpt and neck piece. And I went ahead and put the extra faceplate in this one right here so that it would hold it better and not just, you know, be all loose and whatnot in the packaging. So as you can see, this is the extra neck plate or neck piece right here that rotates and everything, and then you get an extra head, and then here's the extra faceplate that you get. I'm not too big on this faceplate. I'm pretty content with the one he has there, which is just, you know, the closed mouth one and whatnot. You do also get an empty cowl, which I'm really happy we get it because it's a really cool accessory, but I really wish they would have given us also a unmasked Christian Bale Bruce Wayne head, so that it made a little more sense when he's holding this. So yeah, that's still a cool accessory to have. And like I said, this is a special edition, you know, Dark Knight, celebrating, as you can see right here in the corner, 80 years of the Dark Knight. So he does come with this really cool Batman pin, you know, that says 80 years DC Comics. Really cool, really shiny. Don't know where I'm gonna put that yet, but I'm definitely gonna put that somewhere. So up next, he comes with two weapons. The first one you see him holding there in his hand, and it is the weapon that he uses to you know, launch those little mini bombs to cause a distraction, or, you know, get what he needs to get blown up. But the second thing, and we will take a closer look at that once we're done looking at everything in the box, and we'll take a look at what he has on him. The second thing he does come with is his grappling gun, which is a very nice representation of it in 1/12 scale. This is more of a 1/12 scale figure, whereas the Beast Kingdom is a 1/9 scale figure, so that means it is 9 inches. And this is more along the 5.5 to 6 inch scale. So as you can see, it's just nicely detailed, nicely painted, all around. Just like I said, nicely detailed, a very nice mold and everything. So I'm really happy with this. But I do have my Beast Kingdom Batman using the grapple gun, so I went ahead and decided to have this Batman, my Soap Studios, go ahead and use, his little grenade launcher thing. Speaking of grenades, as you can see in his hand, he does have one of his grenades from Batman Begins, and he does in fact actually come with 3, so I don't actually have to pull that one out of his hand and to show you the bomb. So the Beast Kingdom one only came with 1, the Soap Studios came with 3, and the Soap Studios also comes with this added little red dot right there, if you can see, so he can switch it on and off, whereas the Beast Kingdom did not. But it is a larger prop since it is a 9-inch figure. But I think Soap Studios wins this one with the detailing in this little bat bomb. You do also, of course, get batarangs with this Batman. I mean, what is a Batman without a batarang? So you do get the Dark Knight right here, batarang. You see, very nicely detailed. Looks very much like the movie and whatnot, down to the little line and the little elevated portion of the batarang along the closeness to the middle. I'm sorry, I can't speak right now, guys. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is it's a very closely representation of the actual prop used in the movie. It looks very well done for it being such a small accessory. You do also get this nifty tool to poke the faceplates out of. Because they are very hard to get out of, and you don't want to be scratching them with your nails and scratching the paint off. So they do give you this little tool. You just use this to poke it in behind the cowl and it pops right out. So that's really cool and helpful and handy. So next up, let's go ahead and take a look at all the hands he comes with. He does come with a pair of open hands right here, and as you can see, they are nicely detailed. They look very much like the gloves that he wears in the movie. Even the palms are very nicely detailed. You can see all the lining and the stitching, and it kind of even looks like leather a bit. So that's really cool. You do get, of course, a pair of trigger fingers. So he, of course, is holding or is using the right hand one right there to hold that. But you do also get a left-handed trigger finger in case you need that. You also get a pair of C-grip hands. See? C-grip. And that's what he's actually using to hold the bat bomb right there. It fits it perfectly right there inside between the middle index and thumb finger. And as you see, I have it positioned just so you can see the red dot. Obviously it should be on his thumb, but I think that detail is just so nice that I want it to be on display and for people to see and be like, wow, look at that detail. So yeah, I mean, the Beast Kingdom, I still stand by and say those are a miniature hot toy. This is more along the scale of Mezco. Now, I really hope and wish that Mezco does do a Dark Knight version later on down the line. But we'll see, But this is basically equivalent to a Mezco, in my opinion. And even in scale, it's pretty comparable. I think the Mezco Batman is slightly taller than this one, but not by too much. So after the C-grip hands, you of course cannot have a Batman figure. I mean, obviously I said this with batarangs, but of course you also need a pair of fisticuffs because Batman is always beating down, the criminals in Gotham City, and letting them know that you can't just rob little poor people in his streets. So you also get a somewhat of a closed grip hand, more of like I think this is what you would use to hold the batarang, because the thumb and the index finger are pretty much positioned in like the holding position of a batarang. So that's basically what you use that hand for. And last but certainly not least, he comes with a pair of regular gripping hands, like really close gripping hands for anything that you need to grip. You can use it to grip this part right here of the weapon. Fits perfectly. Now I'm trying to get it out without tipping him over. Okay, he fell backwards. That's fine. Because we are actually going to take a look at that weapon that he is holding on to right now. So let me go ahead and pull that out of his hand, nice and gentle, because it is an expensive figure. And so here it is, very nicely detailed, as you can see. I love all the different paint on this, the little red dot even inside, like that's a nice attention to detail right there. Obviously the red right there, but just the red on the inside right there as well. Unlike the Beast Kingdom one though, this does not move or articulate at all or come apart. The Beast Kingdom one does come apart, and it is magnetic to the belt, or to one of the belts that he has, and you can put it on there. So that's the one thing that the Beast Kingdom has over this. But other than that, this one is comparable in detail, because it is just very nicely done in terms of molding, painting, and paint apps. It's just very nicely done. You definitely get what you pay for with this figure. So that is basically, oh wait, no, I forgot. Actually, there are 3 more accessories that I'm totally forgetting. Now, since like I said, this guy is the special edition Dark Knight. So he does come with this super awesome head sculpt that you cannot find anywhere else. And in fact, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. This is basically what made me want this figure, because like I said, you cannot find this Batman this Batman with this detail and this head sculpt, and that is, bring him closer so you can see, the sonar bat eyes. I'm trying to catch the light so you can see, but as you can see, it's a light blue in the eyes, and it's supposed to mimic his sonar vision that he uses to track the Joker. And of course, he also comes with the backpack that turns into the wings that he uses to glide on in China when he's going back to, or when he's going to get Lau to bring back to Gotham, so that he can bring him up on money laundering charges. So that's a really cool accessory, and I just keep that on him since my Beast Kingdom has his cape. My Beast Kingdom one actually did come with one of these as well, but that cape is just so difficult to get out and change that this one was so simple that I figured I'll just put this one on that one, since I have 2 of them. Since I basically do have 2 Dark Knights at this point, but one's 9 inches and one's Mezco size. But I decided to keep the head sculpt that this guy has special and unique to him, as well as this on him while I display him. So last but certainly not least, guys, we are gonna have to look at the display stand. And of course, much like Beast Kingdom, they outdid themselves. It is not just a basic black flight stand, of course. It says Batman right there, and at the very top you do get a nice Dark Knight Trilogy logo. So that is just really cool and nicely done. Detailing that did not have to be put into, that I do appreciate very much. It is a very odd flight stand. I mean, I realized it was kind of tall, and then I realized it's because he can actually be used in a flight stand, and not just in a posable stand where he's on the ground, since he has the grappling hook and the wingsuit and the cape. So that's why this one has a little more give, because later on in the week we are actually going to be taking a look at a second Dark Knight figure, which I purchased, like I stated at the beginning of this video, at the same time as this one, and his stand is about half the size of this. So I was wondering why, but I figured it out why, and that's because Batman does do acrobatics and air stuff and whatnot, so you can put him in a cool position in a flight stand. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and pull him forward and take a closer look at all the detail on this guy. So looking at him up and close, you do see all the beautiful detail that goes into this figure. As you can see on the chest plate, it is very reminiscent of the movie and of that armor that he wears. But unfortunately, as you go down, it does kind of go down in grade, only because you need a little more flexibility for the legs. So you can't have too much hard plastic, much like you would at the top, because you need a little more posability and whatnot. Although you don't really get that with this figure. I have to admit, this figure is very difficult to pose with, because the uniform, the jumpsuit is just so tight on him that his leg literally can't go any further than this. I mean, I'm afraid to push it because then I'm afraid like I'm going to tear the fabric. So you have to be really careful when it comes to fabric figures, and this guy is no exception. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation. That way you guys know what he can and cannot do and whether or not this figure is for you. So you can look all the way to the right, all the way to the left. He has a ball at the top, and his neck also moves because it's ball jointed in there. He can look down that much. He can, whoops, took his head off. Can't really look up unless you pop his head off. Then he can look way up. Then his neck's kind of sticking out. So right there is best. But if you have his head actually popped on like you're supposed to, give me a sec, guys. Whoops. This is, yeah, there we go. So if you have his head on the way it should be, he doesn't look up or down too well. But with that being said, his arms do go all the way out, and you do get rotation at the shoulder, but it is limited due to the jumpsuit. You do get bicep rotation and double hinge elbow joints. As you can see, he can eat his own bomb. That is really cool. So you can rotate his wrist 360, and the bomb just fell out of his hand. And they do hinge in and out, as you can see. As far as articulation, the waist very, very slight. Like I said, you got to be very careful with cloth figures. As far as leg articulation, he can kick forward that much, kick back that much. Although his knee articulation is pretty decent, but I'm still a little scared to keep it like this for too long. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that back down. Like I said, his ankles are kind of flimsy, unfortunately, but you do get some decent articulation with them. But you do really have to find a pose and stands where he's, you know, more balanced and stuff if you want him to stand without the stand. And that's why I keep him on the stand when he is being displayed, only because he just has a tendency to fall over. But he is a very great figure in terms of looks and whatnot, and I'm very happy to have him in my collection. And I hope this video helped you decide whether or not you want to add him to your collection as well. Alright guys, so right before we take a look at those pics, I wanted to show you a quick comparison between the Beast Kingdom 1/9 9-inch DAH 023 Batman Dark Knight figure versus the Soap Studios Mezco style Dark Knight figure. And as you can see, the Beast Kingdom one just towers over this guy, so they're not going to scale up at all, but it is really what you want. I have to admit, this guy is still limited in his articulation, but he does get a little more posability than this guy, and he does really stand out on your shelf. The cons, though, is that, like I said, he is a 9-inch figure, so he will not scale well with many or any of your figures, whereas this guy may, because like I said, he is slightly shorter than a Mezco Batman, so he can or cannot fit depending on how you use force perspective. So it's really up to you, but I absolutely love both figures. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at those pics real quick, and we'll be right back. One last thing before we take a look at those pics, guys, I did forget to show you guys the capes. He does come with a pair of capes, one wired, one not. So the wired cape is okay. It's not the best, which is another reason why I kept the backpack on him, because the capes are kind of flimsy and whatever. So that's the wired one. And then you also get a regular one. As you can see, I haven't even taken that off the packaging that it comes on. Haven't even used it. So yeah, you just get a regular cape like that you can drape on him, and as well as a posable wire one. So yeah, I wanted to throw that in before I forgot, because I had already forgotten, guys. So with that being said, now let's really take a look at those pics, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez. And I did recently start a separate Instagram account for more of my more planned out, thought out, more edited shots called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Go ahead and check it out. If you like what you see, leave me a follow. But with that being said, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, guys. But whether or not you're a subscriber, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it. As always, I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.